Good afternoon. I'm Joanne Burrows. I'm president of the Republican Women of Greenwood County and vice chair of the Greenwood County Republican Party. It is my distinct honor to be able to introduce a fine gentleman this afternoon, Dee Compton. I haven't known Dee a whole long time, but my husband has. He was his teacher when he was in high school. And my husband says he was an excellent student then, and that he's not a bit surprised that he has become the man that he is. If you don't know about Dee, these are some things you need to know. Dee has worked hard all of his life. Things did not come easy for him. He's worked for what he has. He has great values. He has great work ethics. And he has risen to what he has become today because he believes in hard work. Dee has been a family person for all of his life. He totally believes in family values. And if you've ever been in the school system like I was for 31 years, you will know that strong families, they're the backbone of America. So if we don't have strong families, we don't have anything. And if you just look at this beautiful family standing here, you know this is a family man. He's been a past member of the Board of Directors of Rape Crisis. He has been on the Regional Visitor and Tourism Office as a board member. He has been on the Board of Advisors for the Saluda-Reedy Watershed Consortium and many other things. You've probably heard of all of these things. And currently, he is on the County Council for Greenwood County. Not only is he a member, he is an active member. And if you ever go to some of these meetings, you will hear Dee speaking out for you, because that's what he stands for. He believes in doing things for us. He is running for this office because he wants to make our country a better country, especially our area and our state. And he is a fine Christian young man. I am so proud of him. And I would just like to present to you today Dee Compton, who is the next state senator of South Carolina.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming. I'm a little bit choked up. I'm very humbled to receive such kind and nice remarks. Joanne, thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. It is such a pleasure to see you all here. I feel like every one of you are close friends. So it makes it easier for me to talk, and I've just enjoyed getting to know each of you over the years, and I'm just very humbled for your support. Of course, I am Dee Compton. I am running for the State Senate for District 10. Most of you already know my family, but this is my lovely wife, Alicia. She's not only my best friend, she's also my law partner. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. She makes it possible for me to serve. This is BB, also known as the Blonde Bullet, also known as Mary Grace, and she's 5 years old and almost 6. And we have Chloe and Darcy, and they're our twins. They'll be 11 in May. Mary Grace will be 6 in May. And if you ever doubted that we had energy to spare, we got tried by fire right off the bat when we had twins. So we had to learn to juggle and help each other. And when we had a chore in this area, we had to give in this area. So we're very used to juggling a lot of different balls and keeping them in the air. Yeah, you. Years ago, when I was about to graduate law school, I could have moved anywhere. I could have come to any place, but I wanted to move back to Greenwood because of a couple of things. I remember that our industry was in flux. We had the textile mills were in transition. We were getting new industry in, but I saw a lot of promise in our area. 72 was going to be widened. And I couldn't think of a better place than to come home and raise my at that time I didn't have a family, but wanted to raise my children here because it's a great place to grow up. Joanne was right in pointing out that I've done just about everything from working in the weave room on third shift to spraying termites to delivering pizzas, delivering newspapers, cutting grass. And I'm not a stranger to hard work. I'm the only one in this race that has built a business from the ground up. I remember what it was like to work 3 jobs, to hold things together, to make ends meet. I know what it's like to work 7 days a week. I know what it's like to be too tired to drive home and have to sleep in my floor and then get up and start early the next day. I know what it's like not to take a vacation for 10 years. I married Alicia in 1993, and in October of 2004, she came into the firm and joined me, and we haven't looked back since. And through our hard work and perseverance, we've made a business that is prosperous, and now we have the time for me to pursue public service. If you're like me, you don't care too much for politicians that say one thing and then do another, who promise to be conservatives and then get elected, take their oath, and forget all that. And one of the nice things is that I'm not that kind of politician, and one of the better things is I've proven that. I have a track record. When I ran for county council in 2001, I told voters exactly where I stood on the issues, on matters of principle. I told you that I stood for property rights, that I stood for limited government, for economic expansion. I told you that I wanted to protect our natural resources, that I was going to stand for the most ethical of government, for it to be open and accountable, to restructure government, and to support the highest ethics in government. And I've held up to all of those things. I've spoken out on those things. Even using big Buckley words, I have to thank Richard for comparing me to Bill Buckley, but I hope to be half the conservative that he was. But I've done that even when it was painful, even when it was difficult. And so you can trust me when I'm in Columbia as your next senator that I'm going to live by those principles, I'm going to uphold those values, and I'm not going to wither under fire. You can count on that because I've demonstrated that, and that's exactly how I'm going to behave in Columbia. Now, we need a conservative government that won't be all things to all people, that will only do what we can't do individually. We need economic development. We need greater cooperation between the state and local governments. We need to support education, but we need more discipline and resources in the classroom. And more importantly, and this is sort of a bellwether issue, and I don't think, there are 2 things that we also need to be concerned about: property rights and not using eminent domain to redevelop property. I think that's very important. But even more important is our water rights, water quality. And I'm happy to say that I've been studying water issues and been fighting for cleaner water ever since I came on council. We've passed resolutions and sent letters, but working from county to county doesn't work too good, so we're going to have to move to a regional approach, and we've got to have the state government support us in that effort, or we're never going to make any progress. Just yesterday, in the Greenville News, there were 3 separate stories about fecal coliform bacteria flowing downstream, and it's in such concentration that children can't even wade in the water without being afraid of getting sick. There are signs posted up and down the river. Lake Honesty is full of pollutants. And guess where it all comes? It all comes right in here to Lake Greenwood. Now, 20 years from now, we're going to be in a real mess if we don't start doing something now to have better policies to keep our rivers clean and full. So these are the values that I want us to work on. These are the goals that we need to be aware of. I need your help. Please join me in this effort, and thank you very much for coming.